Hi, I'm KK and today we're gonna talk about 10 Years Ticket. But before we come to an actual video, I want to give you a little disclaimer. This video is gonna have spoilers because I just want to share my thoughts and opinions about this drama. Now when you already know this, then we can come to an actual video. This drama has one season with 16 episodes, and this is a story about four families who were once really close, but then a terrible tragedy happened and one of the members were killed and the other one was claiming that they're responsible for this. And during this whole drama we will see what actually happened that terrible night and how this tragedy influenced all those families. And also we will just see the piece of life of those characters. And well, I need to say that this drama is a masterpiece, and seriously, I highly recommend it to everyone, but be ready to be sad and devastated because this drama is really realistic. And well, this is just the pure life, and I think we all know that the cruelest and the worst scenarios are written by life itself, but still this is really good drama. And I will probably praise this drama many times during this video, so be ready for this. And in advance, I'm sorry for this, but seriously, it was so well made and it has so many advantages, and yeah, it has so many beautiful camera work. And also many times, I know if this is because of coloring or just an atmosphere, but it really reminds me of Thousand Stars, and still I think Thousand Stars is one of the most beautiful and mature dramas which I have ever seen. And also this drama had many meaningful conversations, so this is that kind of drama which can teach you something, but on the same time it can really devastate you. So yeah, be ready for this. And if you want to watch this drama when you have a bad mood and you just want to watch something funny and light, this is definitely not a good option because this drama is really realistic, like I said, melancholic and really heartbreaking many times. Yes, of course it had also light moments and really nice, cute and funny, but mostly it was really heartbreaking. So yeah, be ready for this. So yeah, if you like that kind of dramas, then you definitely need to watch this. And also I really want to praise the whole cast, and seriously, it was chosen just perfectly. And I just can't imagine other actors playing those characters, and especially Tu and And if you're their fans, then you just need to watch it. But seriously, if you know them, then you know that they're really talented actors, but I think this is the best performance of them. And seriously, they played it so naturally that I really could feel those emotions that Phukhao and Kongkwan had. And yeah, they just deserve for a huge applause, and again, this is definitely the best performance. And also I want to praise the children cast here because like everyone here, they had a really hard job to do, but they really did it well. And also I was really shocked how well they were chosen because older cast really look like their younger self, if you know what I mean, and they had a really similar vibe, and also their facial expression was similar. So yeah, like I said, everything was just perfect in this drama. They kind of destroyed something in the last episode, but I'm gonna talk about this in spoiler part. But except this, it was just perfect. But you know, everything which is perfect just need a little imperfections. And seriously, this drama was so good, and this is definitely that kind of drama which I like the most. It was realistic, it was mature, camera work were just beautiful, coloring was great, music was amazing, and characters behave like real people, and also their problems were real problems, not fake ones. And even if I was really devastated and I was really sad and I probably cried in every single episode, then I just love this drama and I'm really happy that I watched this. And seriously, for all this drama I felt really sorry for many characters, especially for those teenagers, because no one should ever go through such a thing which they did. But at least they got something like almost happy ending, so I'm happy for them. And seriously, I got attached to those characters so much, and this drama definitely became one of my favorite. Okay, now I think we can come to spoiler part. First of all, I think we should start from Lak and Mai story because it was actually the beginning of other events in this drama. And yeah, their love story was really devastating, and both of them really deserve for so much better. But I really don't like how they solved this whole theme with Lak because I thought that it would be totally different, and I totally don't understand why she was so extreme and why she did all of this to herself. I mean, I had some theories during this drama. One of them was that maybe this police officer who had played by Foei, that he forced her to admit that she did it. Another one was that maybe she covered someone who actually did it, but yeah, then it turns out that she did all of this totally on herself. And I really don't understand her decision. I mean, I understand that she loved Mai and she wanted the best for him even after he wasn't there anymore, but still, she kinda destroy her life actually. I mean, her idea to hide this box and all those evidences who actually did it to Mai was a really good idea, and I think that she should run away and care about this from far, but yeah, she decided to come to jail. It doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion, but if it does, then please tell me what do you think and please explain me your perspective, okay? I would really appreciate it. And also, I really don't like her behavior on her mother's funeral, because I felt like she tried to take all attention to herself and she played like a martyr, or I know, maybe I just felt like this, but I really felt like she wanted to focus on herself when she actually did all of this to herself. So why be sad about this and why be mad about this when you did on your own? And I don't know, I just feel that they kind of destroyed the whole story of Lak. So yeah, this whole thing with Lak was that one thing what I said, that they destroyed something in one of the last episodes. So yeah, everything else was great in this drama, but yeah, I really don't like the solution with Lak. Okay, now let's talk about Mai. First of all, I really want to praise Plem, because I was really shocked that he can play so well, and okay, I don't want to say anything bad. It's not like I don't like him or something. I just didn't pay much attention to him. I saw him in many projects, but he never got my attention, and that's it. Even if he was the part of the first ship that I have ever seen. But yeah, seriously, here he showed that he's really talented, and I was so impressed how much he can play just using his eyes. And you know that you're a good actor when you can play just with your eyes. And seriously, he was so incredible in this role, and he really showed every single emotion of Mai just perfectly, and I really could feel this. And I felt really sorry for Mai, and seriously, his life was just terrible. His father hated him, his mother just pretended that she cared about him when she just wanted money. And seriously, I mean, okay, at least he got love from those grandparents and from other families, but in the first place he should got love in his house, and his parents should love him in the first place and make him feel that he's wanted and that he's a part of a family. And okay, yes, he had Phukhao, and I really loved their relationship, and I feel like Mai treated Phukhao more like his son than a brother, and also Phukhao did the same, but still, no matter what, their relationship was beautiful. And the worst and saddest part for me is that they never had a chance to meet each other, and I think that Mai would be really proud of Phukhao if he would see how he grew up and what kind of person he become. And wow, now I get emotional. But seriously, their relationship was probably one of my favorite relationships between siblings and in dramas in general. Yeah. And I really can't describe how mad I was that he ended like this, because he was just a teenager, and he could be happy somewhere else, and he could be around people who actually love him and who care about him, but some terrible people who just, I don't know actually why, but they were just crazy and they didn't care about anyone. They took all of this from him, and the worst part is that they hurted not only Mai but also everyone around him. Seriously, I was so mad at this police officer, his father, and all this mafia. And okay, maybe I will surprise some of you, or maybe I even say something controversial, but after so much time left since this drama ended, and I still think a lot about this drama, and I need to prepare this video, so I was keep going to this drama and keep repeating many scenes. I started to think about this officer character, and I actually feel sorry for him, and I understood that we actually have the same story that we have with Vigas and Ken Porsche, that they had really terrible fathers, and we can love or hate that kind of characters, but I think that most of us feel really sorry for them, because no matter how much they try, they just never get enough, they just always the worst. And yeah, actually I feel sorry for him, but it doesn't justify anything what he have done, and still I really don't like this character. And okay, it's really not often for me that I think that no matter if this is real life or in drama, that I think that it's good that it's better than someone died, but I was really happy that this police officer and his father ended like this. And also I was really happy that Mr. Piak was the person who did it to them, because he was deeply into their world. And yeah, this one thing this old dude said really well, that when you once become the part of this world, it's really hard to get away, and it's almost even impossible. So yeah, I'm really happy that Mr. Piak was the one who did it, because he just knew this world and he knew that this is how they solve stuff there. So yeah, I was really happy that they ended like this, but I was really sad that Mr. Piak ended like this also, because he looked like a good person and he was really good father for Saw. And in general, they last scene together, I mean the scene in the cinema where Mr. Piak was with Saw, Chalee and Blue, it was really emotional. And I actually don't understand why they didn't understood that Mr. Piak saying goodbye to them for good and he's not gonna come back, because from what he said, it was really obvious for me. But yeah, when they later find out that he ended like this, they were really shocked, and I don't understand it. I mean, I understand that they were sad and devastated. I also was like this, but I really don't understand why they were shocked. And okay, now let's talk about those teenagers, because actually it was their story. And let's start maybe from Phukhao, because he was the main character. And I really like that we saw many stuff from his perspective and that we had a chance to actually understand him. And I know that many people could hate him when he was so bad for Kongkwan. And okay, don't get me wrong, I also was really mad at him many times, but I also understood him. And you know, I just couldn't hate him, because for me he was really broken, lost, lonely, and teenager who gone through really hell because of his father, because of what happened with Mai, and you know, his whole life was really terrible. And the saddest part for me was that since he was real little, he was totally on his own. I mean, when Mai still was there, then he had Mai, but when Mai disappeared, then he needed to do everything on his own. He needed to learn about everything on his own, which was terrible. And you know, he was just a kid back then when all of this happened. He was too young to understand many stuff, and he needed to learn how to deal with stuff on his own, which of course couldn't work because he was too young. And his parents should be there for him and teach him and show him how things really looks like. But yeah, their parents also make his life a living hell, especially his terrible father. And you know, since Phukhao was really little, he saw how his father keep humiliating Mai and how he was a monster for his kid. And also later, after Mai disappeared, also his father wasn't better. I mean, of course, fortunately he wasn't like this for Phukhao, but still he still have arguments with Phukhao's mother, and you know, he played like a martyr. And okay, I'm not gonna talk about this monster, I will talk about him later, but now let's focus on Phukhao. And you know, he grew up with this mindset that Kongkwan is responsible for everything, that everything happened because of Kongkwan's family, and you know, Mai disappeared and whole Phukhao life just crashed back then, which was totally understandable because, like I said, he was just a little kid. And the scene when he was running from one home to another to ask those families for help when his parents were arguing, it was really devastating for me. And you know, when he found all of them celebrating Kongkwan's birthday, and I'm sure that if they would see him, they would help him, but they had no idea that he was there. And you know, for that little kid, it was really logic that he started to behave like everything was because of Kongkwan, because from his perspective it could look like this, because again, any adult helped him understand it, what happened. And of course they all want to help Kongkwan also, because she also was really little and she probably didn't even understood what happened. So yeah, but I really like that we could see his perspective also, and when he grew up he needed to understand on his own what actually happened and how everything looks like. And I knew that he would realize this in some point because he was really smart kid. So yeah, but no matter what, I really like this character, and because of I really could feel every single emotion, and seeing how terrible his life was really heartbreaking for me. Okay, now let's talk about Kongkwan, another main character and another really well written character. And seriously, To did an amazing job portraying this character, and she deserves for a huge applause. even if it was really challenging. And when it comes to Kongkwan, I have really similar feelings towards her like I had with Phukhao. Her life was a true hell, and it was really hard for me to see how she needed to fight every single day with all those people. And you know, if she needs to fight only with kids and later teenagers, I would kind of understand it. I mean, you know, kids and teenagers, they really often just reflection of their parents, but I totally couldn't understand why adults want to turn her life into living hell. First of all, it was stupid, and second of all, it was really cruel. And yeah, I totally couldn't understand it. And it was also a bit ironic, but I feel like she's the more mature of all those teenagers, even if she was the youngest. But I really admire how strong she was, and that even if everyone tried to put in her head this idea that she's the problem and like she did something wrong, even if she didn't, then she still tried to fight with them, and you know, she just tried to be herself and just live, which was terrible that she was so young and she needed to go through such a thing. I really can understand it. And yeah, for the whole this drama, I was really sad for her, the same like with Phukhao. And I really like that no matter what, those old families, except Phukhao of course, and Zo and Blue, they really spoiled her because she was the youngest, and she tried to show her that nothing happened and that she should live like this whole tragedy didn't happen. But you know, it was really hard because other people keep showing her that she's the problem, she's the wrong one. Even if her sister was responsible for this, then somehow she also for them was responsible. And I was really mad during the scene when Kongkwan was really little, and it was right after this tragedy or really close to this, and it was the scene when other children bullied her. And like I said, when children bullied her, I didn't like it, of course, but I could understand it because, again, children, especially that young, they are a reflection of their parents. And if their parents keep saying something like this in home, then, you know, kids go and repeat everything, don't even think what does it mean, and they don't even understand what it is. But I was so mad at this terrible teacher because it was her job to react and explain those kids that this is not Kongkwan's fault and she didn't do anything wrong, and of course that they shouldn't bully her because it's just wrong. But yeah, she definitely should change her job. And we need to remember that her whole life also was shaped by this tragedy, the same as Phukhao. And you know, in the same time, in the same day, she lost two really important people for her at the time, Mai and Lak, because when she was little, she really spent a lot of time with Mai, and Mai also was important for her. So this was really hard for her probably, and she was really little, and she probably didn't fully understand what happened and what's going on, but you know, still it really shaped her, especially that every single person probably accepted those families were keep telling her that she's a problem, she's the bad one, and that kind of stuff. Fortunately, her parents wasn't like this, and they were keep telling her that they always there for her, and no matter what, this is not her fault. And also those other families, except Phukhao, of course. But still, it was really hard for me to watch how terrible and how hard her life was. But I was so happy that she still had Blue, she had Zo, she had those families, and you know, she still tried to enjoy her life as much as she can, and that she even find friends who are really good, and I really like their friendship. They were also cute. And yeah, seeing her smiling was the best feeling that I have during watching this drama. And also when Phukhao was smiling, seriously, those small stuff were so important and so good for me when I was watching this, because I really got attached to those characters. And I was really happy when Phukhao finally understood that Kongkwan wasn't responsible for all of this, and he imagined all this hate and this whole perspective on his own, and it wasn't right. And I still think that one of the biggest problems in this drama were parents, and those parents could hate each other whatever they want, but they shouldn't put it on kids. They should still let them be friends and treat them like nothing happened, and you know, help them go through this, not just leave them on their own and keep creating more hate between them. And especially after this one situation when Phukhao left this little Kongkwan on the playground and he was sitting near there, you know, they both were lost. They had no idea what's going on, and they couldn't understand it properly because they were too young, and they just didn't have that much knowledge, experience, and that kind of stuff. Their parents should do this, but their parents just start yelling at them, yelling at each other, and just create a huge problem from this, when they should just sit and talk with those kids, explain them why it was wrong, why it shouldn't happen, and just let them be friends like they always was. And it was really hard for me to see how much Phukhao was fighting with himself, actually, and with his emotions towards Kongkwan, because he never actually stopped love her. She always loved her, but after this whole tragedy with Mai, he started to hate her, which again, I could understand. I didn't like it, but I understand it, and it was really heartbreaking for me because he struggled with this so much, and we could see many times that he doesn't actually hate Kongkwan. He still wants to talk with her, he wants to be close with her, but he just created this whole mechanism of hating her to, survive somehow. Because again, parents didn't do their work. And their conversation after the kiss was really heartbreaking for me because it was so hard for Phukhao to understand that Kongkwan never hated him, and it was just impossible for him based on his perspective and how much he hated Kongkwan and how bad he treated her. But she never lost her hope that her Phukhao is there, and I was so happy during the scene, but at the same time I was crying so much, and I still remember this. Because it was also really sad for me to see, but again, and Tu did such a great job in the scene, and it was incredible. And another amazing scene was in 5th episode when Kongkwan and Phukhao was in library, and okay, this scene was just beautiful. It was extremely sad, but at the same time it was so well made. It was just the way how they create this was so beautiful, and we could see so many emotion in Kongkwan and Phukhao, and we could see how much Phukhao struggled with himself, and that he doesn't want to hate Kongkwan, but it was just the only way that he knew. And seriously, I'm really impressed by the scene, and I think this is one of the best scenes in whole this drama, and again, and Tu did incredible job in this scene. And also there were 2 scenes in 7th episode which were also powerful, incredible, and again I cried, but at the same time I just was impressed how well made they are. First one was when Phukhao and Kongkwan were arguing, and Phukhao tried to destroy brother uncle. And actually in this scene I realized that Mai also was really important for Kongkwan. But yeah, again, this scene was incredible. And another incredible scene was also in the 7th episode when Kongkwan and Phukhao were in front of the jail, and Phukhao was yelling at Kongkwan and tell her how he saw everything from his perspective, and that he always was alone, and everyone treated him also like a problem, which was really hard for me to watch and to hear, because again, he was just a kid, and I understand him that he felt disappointed by those families. I mean, okay, we knew that they keep telling him that they always there for him, but in this age, the most important person for you are parents usually, and they totally didn't do their job. And I also don't understand why people treat him like a problem, especially the ones who knew what happened. I totally don't understand it, and yeah, I feel really sorry for him. And all those scenes after what happened to Kongkwan's mom, and when Kongkwan and Phukhao were blaming themselves, was so heartbreaking for me, and I seriously couldn't believe how terrible parents they are, that they totally don't see problem in themselves when they clearly were the problem. And seriously, that they blamed those kids, it was insane. And seriously, it was okay, definitely not funny, but that was ironic that those parents actually should learn from their kids, because their kids were much more mature than then. And especially the scene during the Kongkwan's mother funeral, it was really powerful when all of them hug each other. It was beautiful, it was sad, and seriously, all those parents should have a lesson from their kids how to behave. But it shouldn't be like this. Those kids should learn from their parents, not the opposite. But I really love this friendship between Phukhao and Kongkwan. It was so beautiful and precious. Okay, I forgot to talk about this, but when Phukhao and Kongkwan become a couple, I was so happy for them, but on the same time I was even more happy that they become friends again, because their friendship was just amazing. And I really like Plo and his family, and actually I was so anxious about, and I thought that all of them are gonna die in some point. Don't ask me why, but I was really anxious during watching this drama. Probably since I watched Until We Meet Again, I never was that anxious with any other characters. But yeah, I felt really sorry for them, especially because of grandma illness, and especially for her, because I just can't imagine how hard it had to be to not recognize your close ones, don't remember anything, and being so lost and don't even know what's going on around you. It's really terrifying, and I really hope so that scientists one day will find out some solution or some medicine for this, because it can actually happen to all of us, and this is really scary. And well, it was really hard for me to see how they struggle. I mean, we could see that they really love each other, and that both of them, grandma and Plo, how much they care about grandma, but it had to be extremely hard for them. You get that at least they had help from those other families, but still, for the most of the time, they were alone with this. And yeah, I really like them, and I really like Plo as a character. He was a really good big brother for all of them, but I was so surprised that he was in love with Kongkwan. And you know, somewhere in the beginning when he told her that she shouldn't start looking for a boyfriend, I was like, why? And then I started to think that maybe he likes her, but I still couldn't believe, and I'm actually happy that they didn't become a couple, because first of all, I think their relationship, which is really beautiful, will be destroyed after this. And you know, normally that age gap and someone who's already an adult who's interested about high school students would be alarming for me, but in this case it wasn't, because they knew each other since they were kids and they just look at each other like for brother and sister. But okay, it sounds even weirder now, but I mean here that they knew each other for a long time, so they didn't saw that age gap in the same way like normally. But I was really happy that they didn't become a couple, because they were in totally different stage of their life, and you know, Plo was already an adult and he had different problems than Kongkwan, who just started high school. So yeah, I just think that it couldn't work, and again, I think that it would destroy their beautiful relationship. So yeah, in general, I was happy that they didn't become a couple. And I also really like Zo, but she made me a little bit mad when she told Kongkwan that they always ending doing silly stuff because they love her. And then I started to think that, oh okay, she's also just a teenager, and I stopped being mad at her. You know, Kongkwan already gone through a hell, and she really doesn't need people who are close for her and who were important for her also tell her that she's the problem. So yeah, I was a little bit mad at Zo. And also her speech in 8th episode was totally on point after Kongkwan and Phukhao father fight with each other, because it was so immature and so stupid. And seriously, those parents could really learn a lot from their kids. And again, it shouldn't be like this. And I really like Kongkwan's friends, and they created such a nice group, and they were so cute. And we could see on Soda example that it was exactly like I said. She was just a kid back then when she was bullied Kongkwan, and she just repeated stuff that she heard in home. And when she grew up, she understood that she was wrong, she shouldn't do like this, and she could hurt Kongkwan, and she probably did. And yeah, it was really nice to see. And also, I want to say a little bit about Chalee. He was Phukhao and Zo's friend, and on the beginning when he wanted to destroy Phukhao, I didn't like him and I had bad feelings for him, but when they showed more about his story, I felt really sorry for him, because he was exactly the same like all those four main characters, because he also gone through hell, and since he was a kid he grew up in a really terrible and cruel environment, and he probably saw really terrible stuff. But if I understood correctly, he never killed anyone, so he still has soul, and I was really proud of him when he come to this jail and he decided to admit what he have done and that he didn't run away. Yeah, I was really proud, and I really hope so that in this 10 years ticket universe, when he will release, then seriously Zo and Phukhao will be there for him like they promised, and they all will be happy because they really deserve it. Okay, that's all I want to say about those teenagers. Now let's talk about those adults, especially about those terrible parents. And okay, let's start from the worst of them, who were of course Phukhao and Mai's father. And seriously, I just don't have enough words to describe how terrible he was for Mai, because saying that he was cruel and terrible is definitely too less. Seriously, he treated Mai like some punching bag, and he treated him like a trash. He kept humiliating him, and seriously, he was probably the worst person in Mai's world. And I was so mad at him, and it was even a moment when I thought that he's responsible for what happened to Mai, because I totally could believe that he was capable for this, because he was that terrible person. Fortunately, he was better for Phukhao, but still, for the whole this drama, I was so anxious that even the smallest thing can make him be also that bad for Phukhao. And I was so mad at him, because after Mai's tragedy, he behaved like he's a martyr and he suffered the most, and like he missing Mai the most. What he could miss, his punching bag? I mean, yeah, he lost his punching bag, but seriously, I was so mad, especially that Phukhao still needed him as a father, and he should take care about Phukhao, not the opposite how it was. And okay, he changed actually a lot at the end, but still it doesn't change the fact that he was terrible person, partner, father, and every other role that he had, and I really didn't like this character. And okay, now let's talk a little bit about Phukhao's mother and her girlfriend, because in the beginning I thought that Pin is actually connected with Phukhao's father, and I even thought that maybe she's his ex-girlfriend, and I thought that she was my mother. But yeah, I was so wrong, and when it turns out that she and Sai were girlfriends, I was so surprised, and also their story is really sad. And yeah, being the part of LGBTQ plus community when they were young, it was really hard. I mean, okay, I'm not saying that it's easy now, but I think it's a lot of easier nowadays. Of course, it depends from which part of the world you are. There are worse and better places, but in general, I think it's much better than it was even a few years ago. It's still hard, but yeah, I think it is much better. But yeah, when they were young, it was really terrible. And I was really proud of Pin that she decided to stop the relationship, because what Sai was doing was really cruel. And yeah, like Pin said, Sai really loved Santi and she wouldn't left him. And it wasn't only because of Phukhao. And it was really cruel towards Pin when Sai kept talking to her only when she needs someone to talk and when she had problems, but when everything was okay, she totally didn't remember about her. In general, I didn't like Phukhao's mother. She was really selfish, and I still just can't understand why she was so much opposite Lak and Mai relationship. I mean, okay, normally student and teacher relationship is totally wrong and there's no explanation for this, but this case was different because they knew each other since they were kids and they probably just couldn't look at each other as a teacher and student. So yeah, I totally didn't understand why she was so against it. And also, oh my god, the worst argument that she could use was when she said to Lak that Lak should have thought about her parents. Why? This is the argument that which I would never understand. Why people should think about their parents when they're in a relationship. Their parents are not the part of this relationship. It was totally between Lak and Mai, and that's it. And oh, seriously, I really don't like that kind of idea that your parents are somehow connected with your relationship. This is so stupid. Okay, now let's talk about Kongkwan's parents, because I also didn't like them and they also annoyed me, but at least they had some good moments with Kongkwan. And let's start maybe from the mother. I was really mad at her that she treated Kongkwan like this, and especially when she hit Kongkwan, because no matter what, there's no explanation for this. This is just unacceptable, and I know that many parents think that they can do anything what they want to their kids because they're parents, but no. Kids are living creatures and they deserve respect like any other living creature, and you have no rights to treat them like this. And you're not the owner of their life or anything like this, and that kind of thinking is really just bad. And also, I was so mad at her when she told Kongkwan that she shouldn't care about adult stuff. Oh, seriously, this is one of the stupidest explanations that you can use, and seriously, you can use any other explanation to explain your kid that they shouldn't care about something because you will take care about this and they shouldn't be worried without disrespecting them. But this one is definitely one of the worst. And exactly like Kongkwan said, those adult stuff really often actually always affect kids. And yes, kids and teenagers see and feel more than adults usually think. And they also taking part in this even if they have no idea what's going on actually. So explaining them is really important, just to make them feel better and more comfortable. And also I was so mad that she blamed Kongkwan for what's going on. And okay, I understand that she was so scared when she saw what's going on in this mafia house, but still, blaming Kongkwan was a terrible thing, and it wasn't Kongkwan's fault at all. And you know, this whole situation when Kongkwan left to spend some time with her friends, it was completely normal, and she just wanted to say goodbye because she thought that they're moving out because she befriended again with Phukhao, which of course wasn't true. And yeah, her parents should explain it to her, not didn't tell her anything and then blame her. Seriously. I was so mad at Phukhao's father when he blamed her and Phukhao that they're responsible for what happened to Kongkwan's mother. And I was even more mad at him because he was a teacher before and probably he was as bad teacher as he was father. And no matter what, I just, you know, knowing that he was a teacher, I just can't understand how he could treat both of them, Kongkwan and Phukhao, that way, especially Phukhao, because not even that he was teacher before, so he should know why Phukhao became like this. And yes, I understand that Phukhao did and said many terrible stuff to them, but still, he was a teacher, so he should understand why Phukhao became like this and he should help him, not become one of his enemies. And also, he was earlier his uncle, so seriously, I just can't understand how he could be so terrible for Phukhao and even hit him. This is totally over the limit. And yeah, like I said, I really hated both of them. But I was really happy when both those families, Phukhao and Kongkwan family, become close again and they stopped this stupid fight and they stopped hating each other. And it was really sad that such a big tragedy was needed to make them become in good terms again. But yeah, I was happy for them that they stopped this and all of them become a huge family again. And seeing all of them smiling in the last scene of this drama was really incredible, and that's all I needed for those characters. And yeah, I got really attached to those characters, and it was really important for me to see them happy. And I remember that during the scene I cried a lot, but this time from happiness. And I don't know if you also have like this, but sometimes there's some productions when you just feel so close with those characters that you feel like they're your friends, your family or something, and you just feel like the part of this world. And yeah, this drama definitely was like this for me. And okay, now let's talk about the best parent, who was Zo's father. And seriously, he was so good parent. And okay, except that he giving Zo alcohol, I didn't like it, but except this, he was seriously amazing, and he really should give lessons to other parents. But I really liked because he was really good advisor for other parents, and also his relationship with Zo was so cute, and he really tried to understand her as much as he can. And I really like that he always cared about all those kids like they were his own, and even if they didn't know about this, he still look at them, and he always keep telling them that if they need some help or just talk, they always can come to him. And I feel like he was that kind of person who totally adopt every single person if he could, like he did with Ning. You know, she was totally stranger for him, but he took care about her like she's his own daughter. And yeah, he was seriously amazing. And on the beginning I wasn't sure about his relationship with Principal. I wasn't sure if it's a good idea to make them a couple. I prefer them as a friends, but then actually I like them as a couple because they were really good for each other. I really liked both of them, and this Principal was seriously a perfect person on the right place. And I really like that she didn't treat Kongkwan differently. She treated them like any other student, and she wasn't judged her based on her sister actions like other people for some reason did. And I really like that she tried to explain this to her daughter, those teachers, and also those parents. And yeah, again, she was just perfect principal. And also I really like teacher Tam. And okay, during the time when Mai was in school, she was terrible teacher and I would probably didn't like her, but when Phukhao, Kongkwan, Zo and others all were in school, she really was a great teacher, and she was the one who didn't humiliate her students. She didn't yell. She treated all of them equally, and she really cared about them. She tried to understand them. And seriously, when Kongkwan was in school, she was really a great teacher. And yeah, she and principal were just the right person on the right place. And I'm really sorry that this video is so long, but I had so many stuff that I want to tell you, and I really hope that we'll discuss about this drama. And yeah, this drama was seriously so good, too good actually. Seriously, cinematography, camera work, music, cast, acting, everything was on the highest level. You know, that kind of productions are not made really often, and usually when they're made, they sitting in the corner among so popular ones, and they really unknown like this one. And this one definitely deserve for bigger appreciation, and I really hope so more people will know about this. And I think this is a good drama for people who want to start their adventure with Thai dramas, and I think it's also a really good drama if you want to watch something with your family or friends. This is a very universal story, and I think for people who need to identify themselves with someone, I think everyone will find someone for themselves to identify. So yeah, this is just another advantage of this drama. And seriously, again, a huge applause for all those actors because they did incredible job, especially for and Tu. And seriously, since now I will have huge expectations towards them, and I really hope so that in the future we will see them again in that kind of challenging roles, and I really can't wait to see them. And yeah, I think that I never was that anxious before in any drama. Okay, maybe during watching Alice in Borderland, but from totally different reasons, of course, and recently during watching Midnight Museum, but again from different reasons. And definitely I never was cried so much during any drama. I was cried a lot during watching Until We Meet Again and few other productions, but definitely not in every single episode and for almost all the episode. But seriously, those characters were so important for me, and I got attached so much to them, and I cared about them so much, like they were my friends, my family. And yeah, I really felt like I become the part of this world, and you know, everything what happened to them, I felt like happened to me and my close ones. And you know, when they were happy, I was happy. When they were sad, I also was really sad. I really love this drama, and I seriously highly recommend it to everyone. And if you didn't watch it yet, then seriously go and watch it because this is definitely worth it. And yeah, that's all I want to say about this drama. Now it's your turn. Please tell me in the comment section what do you think about this drama, who was your favorite character or characters, and you know, just share your thoughts. I'm really curious to find out what do you think, and thank you so much for spending your precious time with me today. Please remember to take care of yourself, smile a lot, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!